Has anyone ever been in a situation like this before? So anyway, it all started last week. I live with 4 roommates: Jess, Lily, Dane, and Miguel. Lily is the one who I'm pretty sure is dead, even though my housemates all say she's pretending. And at first I did think she was pretending. It's an old trick of hers. She's super introverted. And sometimes if she's overwhelmed or just doesn't want to talk, she'll pretend to be asleep. We call it her playing possum. But now, she's been playing possum for nearly a week. Her eyes are open, her face is this grayish white and has been turning kind of purplish, her body is bloating, and I saw a fly land on her eyeball and I think it laid eggs there. She hasn't changed out of her panda onesie since she started playing possum last Monday. She smells. She smells like a corpse smells. Like rotting meat. And that panda onesie, that panda suit, is so gross. I'm pretty sure she died in it last Monday and everyone is just in some kind of denial. But does that even make sense? I mean, how is it 3 other people are all saying she's alive and that I'm delusional? Is it just some bizarre social experiment? I keep waiting for some reality TV host to pop out from behind the potted plant in a hidden audience to start laughing or clapping. I feel like I'm coming unglued from reality. I'm sitting on the sofa as I write this, by the way. Sitting here, looking across the TV room at Lily, who is propped up in the same chair she died in, eyes wide open, flesh bloated, and lips purplish and skin just. I think she's going to start leaking into that chair. But let me rewind us to last Sunday. Sunday is when we hit the old lady's cat. It wasn't on purpose. We'd all had a bit too much to drink, and I was driving, and Dane was in the passenger seat, and Jess and Miguel and Lily were in the back, and the cat, it just freaking raced out into the road, solid black, and then there was a thump. My stomach flipped. And then this old woman came out of her house and saw her cat had been hit and screamed. Lily told her she should have kept her cat inside, not let it wander near a busy road. Anyway, long story short, I think that lady was a witch and hexed us for killing her cat. More specifically, I think she hexed Lily. I mean, I don't think. I know. Because the woman said some words in a strange language and we all called her crazy and drove home. So that was Sunday night. Come Monday, when I came out for breakfast, I was up early, as usual. The only other person out in her chair in the living room was Lily. I said good morning, but she had a 1,000-yard stare. I figured she just wanted to be left alone and didn't think anything more of it until I got home from work in the afternoon. Lily was still in the chair. Same exact pose. I asked if she was all right. Miguel was playing a video game and he answered for her, said Lily was sick and had stayed home from classes. But I let it go because he was acting so normal. But at dinner she was still in her chair in the same pose and hadn't moved. I tried talking to Jess, who told me, she'll be fine, it's just a cold. This behavior went on for days. And just, anytime I tried to ask any of my roommates if Lily was okay, they would act like I was the crazy one. I tried to point out she hadn't changed out of her onesie and was told to quit being an asshole, she's sick. At one point I was staring at her from the sofa, trying to catch her blinking, and Jess yelled at me and told me to stop being such a creep, that I was weirding Lily out. They even put up a big cushion in front of her to block her from having to see me, which she clearly couldn't because she was by this point 3 days dead. I assumed once the rotting set in that they would notice, but they just pretended all the harder. And in fact, they even started staging her body? Like, I know it sounds really weird. I don't know why they did it or if it's some sick social experiment or what. But they moved her. I found her at the table one morning. She was slumped backwards over her chair, sightless eyes staring up at the ceiling. Everyone talked to her like she was alive. By this point she also stank. I mean, to the point I even noticed Miguel and Dane kind of surreptitiously keeping their distance and breathing through their mouths, not their noses, around her. I tried to talk about this to them later, but Miguel just wrinkled his nose at me and said, "Yeah, I know, it's gross. But she's super depressed. Jess says she's never seen Lily this bad before. She's mad upset about that cat. Just let her be. We gotta let her work through this. She'll come out of it. Until then, things like showering and getting out of bed are really hard for her. I almost told him, yes, those things would be hard for a dead person to do. But I didn't. Honestly, I didn't know how to respond. I finally managed to say, dude, I think she's rotting in that panda suit. He chuckled and shook his head and said, come on, don't be an asshole. He did what I should have done from the beginning and called the police. I said I wanted a wellness check on Lily. My roommates tried to send them away, but I came downstairs and insisted and pointed to the corpse in the panda costume in the chair by the television. That chair was really gross by now. And the cops went over to examine her, and I really believed, really and truly, that we were all about to be arrested for having a dead girl rotting in our living room, congealing into that chair. But they pretended she was alive, the same as my roommates kept doing. She never spoke a word in answer to them. Never moved. Later Jess took me aside and told me my actions were uncalled for and that all I did was make things worse for Lily. So now I'm not sure what to do. Update: it's been several more days since I wrote the above stuff, and as you can imagine, her body became severely decomposed. Also, I confronted my roommates. We got into a huge fight. I told them that clearly the witch's hex had done something to Lily. That it was blinding them and we were all living with a dead girl. They looked shaken after I pointed out the smell. The way Lily wasn't eating, was literally rotting. They told me they thought I was seeing things. But the entire house reeked of death. None of us could stand it. We could all smell it. I heard Miguel and Dane whisper about the smell later, but they clamped up at a death glare from Jess. So I finally decided to take action. Last night, I bundled up the corpse in the panda suit and drove it out to the woods. There's these high bluffs out there. I tossed the corpse down the rocks. The animals out there will pick it to pieces, if it isn't already too rotted for them to eat. I came back home and also cleaned up around the house and put that disgusting chair out on the curb and finally went to bed. In the morning I woke up to find Jess having a panic attack. She demanded to know where Lily was. I told her Lily left and Jess accused me of lying. Miguel seemed relieved though. While Jess went out in her car to go searching for Lily, Miguel told me he could finally breathe again and that it really had smelled bad in here and someone needed to do something. He said he hoped Lily got the help she needed, but that this wasn't the right place for her and she probably needed inpatient treatment. I refrained from telling him that I thought it was way too late for a hospital. Anyway, her body being gone should be a good thing, except I think the hex is now hitting the rest of us. Because Dane, he's always a late sleeper. He didn't wake up through Jess's freak out or my conversation with Miguel. But now it's afternoon and I just came out and found him sitting next to Miguel on the sofa, playing video games. Only, he's not actually playing. His eyes stare straight ahead of him. His hands don't move. There's a first-person shooter on the screen, and Miguel keeps telling Dane he needs to step up his game. But Dane is literally doing nothing. Seeing nothing. I think he's like Lily was last Monday. Like the hex hit him and now he's dead, but nobody can see it. I don't know if I should wait for his body to rot, or if I should just take him out to the bluff sooner. If this plays out the same way, Miguel won't stop pretending Dane is just fine. Jess will come home and also believe that he's still alive. Even the police will believe it. Why am I the one the hex didn't hit? Why am I the only one who can see that they're dead?